So when we spoke, I remember we were talking about how we don't mind saying no to going to certain places or
Mhm.
being around our friends, like other friends, because they may not understand. Do you get invited out a lot to go different places, and then you're like, "No, I'm not coming."
I do. And then I'll just say sometimes I'll get invited and I'll just be like, no, I have plans. But really, and I don't mean to lie, but the plans is to be with my child.
Right.
Or I don't have the energy because I spend so much time in my energy with Zoe earlier. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm spent at this point, you know? Or I don't want to take Zoe because I don't know that where we're going is going to be conducive for her. You
Right.
know, I want her to get out and experience and enjoy, but that's the only time we can get, right? Like, that's the
Yeah.
only way I'm going to know if she's able to tolerate certain things, right? But I know offhand that the things that I have experienced with her, taking her somewhere with people or doing things with people, it can be overwhelming for her and for me.
Yeah.
Uh,
I agree.
so, but yeah,
I agree.
I feel bad leaving my child. You know, even when I go out, like I went out to see Usher. That was the best
Uh-huh.
night of my life in a long time. I went out to see Usher, and that was so much fun. But I couldn't wait to get home to my
Yeah.
baby at the end of the day. At the end of the night, it was late, but I
Yeah.
couldn't wait to get home to her
I'm like that.
and give her a kiss. Like, oh, I've been gone all these hours, you know.
That's how I feel. I'm like, yeah, I want to go out, and then I'll get out, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go be back with my baby. Like, it's
Hmm.
time for me to go home. It's
Hmm.
time for me to go get in the bed with my baby. Like, I'm that type of person. Um, I don't like to overstimulate him.
I don't
And
either.
I don't think my friends understand. Like, originally, I'll say I'm coming, and then I'll send a text and say I'm not coming.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't want to come. I don't want to overstimulate him, and I want to experience to see if he can tolerate things by ourselves
Yeah. I
versus
agree
with other
with a
people.
whole bunch of other people on top of that.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it's a different way of thinking, but I'm like, no, I need to see if he likes it with just him and I before I bring him with you and everybody else. And I also have this thing where I believe like I don't try to like make a big deal out of it, but I try to explain to my friends like just because you understand my child and my situation doesn't mean the 10 or 15 other people that you've invited are gonna understand. Like,
That's the part right there. That's
yeah,
the part right there.
and
Um,
and I want to bring him around, but it's like I also don't want people looking at my child, judging him, and not
exactly.
understanding that he has autism. And at the same time, I don't want to go to every person and say he has autism. He has
Autism. Mhm.
like nobody wants to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
then
rather
they
just
were looking at
stay
you
away.
crazy too, because like, why are you telling me? You know,
Right,
why are you telling me that your child has autism? You know,
right,
who knows what that person is gonna say or how they're gonna react. But
right.
I totally agree. We made that mistake several times going places, and I feel bad because I'm almost like, don't invite me to the birthday parties.
Yeah,
But then I don't want to, I want Zoe to experience birthday parties,
yeah,
right? Now that she's grown in the last year. So it might be a little bit better.
yeah.
However, I remember an experience. We went to Main Event. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a Dave and
Yeah.
Buster's Main
We
Event.
have one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. As soon as we left out though,
Uh-huh.
and this is before we knew she had autism. So it was my
Uh-huh.
husband, my brother just happened to be in town. My brother
Uh-huh.
that's right underneath me, he just happened to be in town. He had never come down here to visit. And my daughter, and then went to meet some friends and their kids. And it was Christmas Day, believe it or not, like
Uh-huh.
Christmas night. And it wasn't busy in there, but main event is it's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on because you got bowling over here, the arcade. It's a lot. It's just a lot of stuff in there.
Hey, what was I thinking taking my child in there? I don't think I'm ever going back in there with my child.
Yeah.
It's not a place for us.
Not,
That's not a place for us. It's too
not
much.
really.
Arcades are a little bit much for her. And I feel like any place similar, even like urban air, was a
Yeah.
lot for her. Too many people, too much. I mean, the amount of time I spent trying to get the child to calm down, I was like, we shouldn't have went.
You went right.
We shouldn't have gone. But as soon as we came out of main event, she
Uh-huh.
stopped crying. And
Oh,
that's how I know she was overstimulated. And
yeah.
other kids, not nice either. Your
Yeah.
friends, kids
Or not,
are
they
not
don't
nice.
be nice.
Yeah,
They
and
not
you would
nice.
think that little kids, like 4 and 5 year olds, but that's weird. Like I was like, I wouldn't teach I would hope that I don't teach my child to be saying, "Come on, let's not play with her and let's not do that."
Yeah.
I was like, what? Who is okay? Is that what y'all teach our kids?
That's what they teach their kids because we were at the trampoline park one day and I don't know because Aiden's a big four, so this kid could have been older than 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was, but he called my baby weird because my baby, like you say, they don't have a sense of danger.
Mm-hmm.
So he was jumping, and the big kids and the other kids were like flipping and stuff, and he's just
Mm-hmm.
him. Like he's
Jumping.
having
Yeah.
fun. And the little boy, he calls my baby weird. And I'm just like, I want to say something,
Do
but
you
I'm
want
not
to
because
clap back or do you want to be quiet because it's just a
mama
kid?
and daddy in here,
Yeah.
but I will because your child should not even be using these types of words towards
Why?
other kids. Like
Yeah.
that's how you're behaving. And so
Yeah.
that was the one time I did decide we'll just go when there's not a lot of people in
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
because I
I
have to
agree.
save myself. And that's year I would not. I'm not overstimulating my child for
Mhm.
nobody because I did
Exactly.
that a lot last year. Even if it was just dinners and stuff,
Mhm.
he don't like to sit out there so long. I have the type of child once he eats, he's ready to go. Like he'll
Mhm.
do well in a restaurant, but once he realizes I have my food and I'm full, let's go. That's
Mhm.
how he operates.
And
So
mine has to have a device.
yeah,
If we go out and it can't be, we're not going to a fancy restaurant. I'm sorry.
yeah,
We're not. We're just not. Because I don't want the stares. I mean, and I don't have the energy to explain to people this, that, or the other. Usually it's somewhere where we can get some chips and salsa or some bread so that before the meal comes, she's
okay,
occupied.
yeah. And it's crazy because we should be able to go to these
We
places
should.
without
We
having to
should.
explain. But that's why I tell people like parents are still advocating because even though y'all have awareness, it's still not accepted.
It's not.
Because we should
It's
not
not.
be afraid to go certain places because we don't want to explain or we don't want the stares. And that's why we keep advocating
Hmm.
about it, and
Yeah.
it's just that simple.
One of my favorite restaurants to go to is a place called Perry Steakhouse. My best friend and I
Uh-huh,
love to go there together. And my husband and I actually had our little wedding reception there.
uh-huh.
But I don't feel like I could take my daughter in there comfortably. Like I don't feel like I could take her in there comfortably. It's white tablecloths. It's one of those restaurants, right? It's
Yeah,
sit down. It's beautiful. But do I feel like we would get stares? Yes.
yeah,
Do I feel like we would be, remit, like she might have one of her, and it's usually excitement
Yeah.
where she just screaming, right? Or like she's
Screams of joy.
watching a video. Yeah, she
Mhm.
watching a video and she's excited. Um, do I feel like I could take her there? No, I don't. Not
And
right
it
now.
doesn't feel
Maybe in
like
a
that.
couple
Yeah.
years, but not right now.
Yeah.
But just fine. It's fine. And it's literally up the street from our house, probably less than 10
Mhm.
minutes. But
Mhm.
I just don't feel like right now we could take her there comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a couple years, but not right now.
But not right now.
Mhm.
So we've talked about everything and we've gotten emotional. What is one of your biggest joy that you have about this journey?
Watching her grow, you know,
Yeah.
and watching her overcome stigmas and uh, beat the odds or tell a doctor tell me one thing, but she's showing me something totally different.
Yeah.
Um, and we all are growing and loving in this journey, you know,
Yeah.
this whole family, we're all growing and loving, my husband included.
Yeah.
Um, watching her realize change, like really change. It was a point where a year ago we went to visit Chicago to visit
Mhm.
visit my family in like December. And then by May, when we went to visit, May of 2024, we went to visit, totally different child.
Aw.
Yeah. Real
So just the
knew
growth.
who my mom was, like knew who knows that's grandma.
Uh-huh.
Knows now. A year ago, she was looking like
Who's
she
this?
knew who she was, but she's scared of, like, don't want to.
Mhm.
It took her like 48 hours to be okay with her.
Yeah.
Now she sees her, Grandma!
Aw.
Happy, clinging, all of that. You know, I
Yeah.
want it to be like that with everyone in my family, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. And so I'm making it a point to tell people, if you call me, FaceTime me, right? If you have an iPhone, FaceTime me so that
Yeah.
Zoe can know her family because we don't live there. And it
Yeah.
does not look like we're moving there. um, we talked about it. I thought about it. I want it, but not really.
Yeah.
I like what
So
we live.
just
I like my
FaceTime.
house and I like what, is working here,
Yeah.
what we have. Um, but FaceTime, so she knows. Because the reason why she knows my mom is
Uh-huh.
we FaceTime
Okay.
multiple times a week.
That's
Usually,
good.
yeah, multiple times a week. And so I told my dad and my sisters, like, FaceTime her. Like once a week is good
Okay.
enough.
Yeah. So she
So
can
that she
remember.
knows their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to start doing that. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that more.
Yeah.
Because he knows their voices, but
Mhm.
he doesn't. Yeah, I'm gonna tell people that's a good idea to do that more.
It is because it's hard. If she don't know, she'd be looking like, I don't know you, and I'm not giving you no hugs.
Right. That's the same over here. They're like, give me a hug, and he's looking
Oh, she
like,
knows some of my friends down here better than she knows you
uh-huh.
know,
Family.
my family. My best
Yeah,
friend, she know her. That's her auntie. That's her TT.
yeah.
You know, she might not say TT, but like
She knows.
she know her. She's gonna give her a hug. You know, and her
Oh,
kids, she gonna love on them like that's like those her brothers almost.
yep.
You know,
I love
so yeah.
that. What advice would you give new moms?
Um, I would say keep your head up, be strong. Um, a diagnosis isn't the end, you know, and fight for what you believe your child needs to get to the next step, to excel, to be everything you want them to be, you know, everything you envision them to have. Like, yes, I may have been like, okay, she might not go to prom. She might not What if this? What if that? What if she doesn't have a normal graduation ceremony? What if she all that I'm thinking that now, but who knows what could happen in 14 more years, right? Who
Yeah,
knows? Who knows what could happen? So I say be strong, um, be supportive of your child. You know, they need your support more than anything. Uh,
I agree with that.
so don't look at it as a burden. It's not a burden.
Yeah,
You know, it's a blessing. And
it is a
God,
blessing.
God chose you. This is one thing that I feel like God couldn't have chose a better parent for their autistic child.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree with that. It
yeah,
is a blessing because you learn so much about yourself and who you
true,
are,
true.
and it brings out the better person in you. Because I feel like since his diagnosis, I have been the best version of me that I've ever been.
I
So
feel like I can agree with that. And I feel like I refocused
yeah,
on what's important in my life, in our lives, than the other stuff that I was focusing on.
yeah,
You know?
nothing matters that much anymore.
Yep. Nope.
Like nothing.
Like I don't care trying to do stuff for other people, and I'm like, no, I whatever we doing is for this family at this
Right.
point.
I agree with that. All right. And what is your confession as an autism mom?
What is my confession as an autism mom? I think some days I want to just curl up and hide. It's some days I want to curl up and hide from my husband and from my daughter. I'll just be like, can y'all just leave me for 24 hours? Just leave me be in this
Yeah.
house by myself. Just
And
leave
that
me.
is, you
I
need
don't
a break
want
sometimes.
I need a break, and I'm not talking about I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to be in this house by myself without
Right.
both of them for 24 hours. I don't
I
want to cook.
feel
I don't
it.
want to clean. I don't want to do it. I just want to lay in that bed and watch TV or take a hot bath by myself. I don't. I don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Nobody's calling my name. Nobody's asking
nobody's
for
saying, "Can you
anything.
do
No, I
this? Can you
feel
do
it.
that?" Yep, no one. So I mean, I hate to, just one day without either of them.
Oh,
That
I
would
get
be,
it.
yeah,
That
that
was
would
a
be
really good
ideal.
one. Alrighty. And can you tell everyone where they can find you on social media platforms?
They can find me at Mamanish20 on IG. TikTok, I'm not really active on TikTok. I got like one video on there, and it's of Zoe. But I watch everybody's videos. I do have a YouTube page, but I don't create videos for YouTube. Instagram is probably the best bet, and it's Mamanish20. So
I'm a niche 20. And I'll put that in the description box, you all, so you all can follow her and also see Zoe on her journey. And
yeah,
thank you for sharing your story with us.
thank
It was
you.
a very thank you for being vulnerable. Let me start there. And thank you for being open because we need that sometimes.
Yes, we do.
So not only people in the autism community, but people that have never dealt with kids with autism and family members that have autistic kids so they can understand like what moms are really going through and how we really feel. So
Yeah.
I do appreciate you for that. And
All
thank you
right.
all for watching the video. We will see you all next week. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Bye.